Welcome to Stellos Stadium, everybody. We are minutes away from the start of girls soccer playoff action. New Hampshire Division 1 first round, and it is South hosting the girls from Portsmouth.
How about that, John? South, the second year in a row with a home game. Their win over Bishop Girton got them this home game, and this is definitely their final home game of the season because Londonderry awaits the winner of this game. They got a first-round bye.
Yeah.
So top-seeded Londonderry. South is number 8. So, whoever wins this ends up going to Londonderry on Sunday. The significance locally for this, besides being a tournament game, it'll be the last home game for a lot of players that we've called over the years. Angie Swaza, number 1, South's leading scorer, probably their career leading scorer, I would imagine, although Lisa Chaffee with the Unified Nashua was fairly, she scored her share of goals over the years. But
way back when.
Yes, that was, 20 some odd years ago, but in the late 80s. But this, Angie Swaza, a special player, and she's going to be going to Providence after this after this school year is over. So, we'll see. I mean, this is the last game at Stellos. It'll be interesting to see how things work out today. We're a Portsmouth team.
Which we're looking at right now, by the way.
Exactly.
That's them in the
As
white.
They are warming up. We got about another minute and a half. Kendall Bush, also her last home game. We called her bitty basketball, but we'll see her in basketball again this winter. So, we learned from the boys' game, anything can happen in soccer, especially at this stadium where the ball bounces funny ways.
Salem defeated Nashua boys South team yesterday here at Stellos in a first-round shocker, really, because of how it ended.
Right.
The boys from South had a 1-0 lead with about 10 seconds left in injury and added time.
Yep.
The very, very end of the game, Salem got their one goal in
by
regulation.
Coach Joe Morgan's clock. There were 4 seconds left when that goal went in.
Amazing.
So you don't want that to happen today if you're Nashua South.
That tied it up 1-1, and then Salem went on to win on penalty kicks.
This is a South team 8-5-2. They are, they are explosive at times if they can get Angie Swaza on the right matchup and get her out in space. Yep. Maylee McDermott, the wild card. If Maylee McDermott, number 15 for Nashua South, has a good game, I think this team will win. She scored 2 goals in a 2-1 win over Bishop Girton just a week ago in weather that is very similar to this. As we watch the Portsmouth team huddle up and Nashua South on the sidelines, as well as they came out from the locker room, and now they will meet with the referees. The Clippers of Portsmouth, 8 shutouts this year. We talked before, John, they are a very defensive-oriented team. To counteract that, Nashua South is going to put the midfield at 5 and go with a 3-5-2 formation.
We noticed that Portsmouth's played a lot of 1-0 games this year. They've had 8 wins on the season. And in their 8 wins, they scored a grand total of 10 goals. In 7 of the 8 wins, the score was 1-0, and we had to believe those shutouts had a lot to do with their senior goaltender.
I guarantee you, Jen Couture, I know exactly, and I guarantee you, Jenna Couture, senior, looks to be about maybe 5'9"?
Yeah, she fills up. She gets up to the top crossbar.
She can reach.
Yeah.
But my guess is that Portsmouth will do what they've done all season long. They won't change. They'll pack it in defensively and try to get that one player free up top for, maybe a goal.
The wall of Troy.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, if this game is scoreless at halftime and I'm Nashua South, I'm a little concerned. I need a goal I need one goal as soon as possible, because I think if you get that one goal, you will probably win this game.
That's a big goal to get. We saw that yesterday. It was a long time in coming.
And it came on a penalty kick.
In the second half.
Right.
Yeah.
With 11 minutes to go.
Yeah, and this is a tough team to get it against, obviously going by their record. On the other hand, in South's 8 wins, they scored a total of 22 goals. And they also had a 4-4 tie versus Concord, so they can score.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
The question is, can they do it against this Portsmouth team?
I'll tell you, probably who scored about 15 of those was Angie Swaza. So she had a streak of 3 games where she scored 7 goals. They're going to have to get, they're going to add to the midfield. So they're going to try to flood the offensive zone. So if they control the midfield, they'll be able to get people down low, possibly to get some shots.
South found their identity as the season went along. They were shut out They were held scoreless the first 4 games of the
Swaza
season.
didn't play in those games. She was hurt. She had a bad
There
knee
you go.
to start the season. So she's back. They went, they rekindled their season. And it really made a difference for them. They had everybody out. That's the one thing that Tom Bellin, the South coach, told me after the BG game. Everybody is healthy. We are ready to go. And so are we.
We are. And, in that baseball tournament that you wish not to be named, it was interesting to see how players were all bundled up last night.
Well, I'm going to
in
be
winter
bundled.
gear.
I'm going to be bundled up down there, John.
But you see these soccer players are just in shorts and
John, they're running around on a field.
Hey, yes,
they're running around. They don't need to. They don't need to warm up.
Oh, you wouldn't wear long johns out there
No,
today?
not if I'm running around.
I don't know.
No, look at the size of this. Look at the size of this field. Okay, you're running back and forth.
Okay.
They don't do that.
Right.
No way.
I'm talking about you here wearing warm clothes during the game.
Well, I'll be wearing warm clothes because I'll be down on the field. Working my other job, my main job. So.
Yeah. Well.
And then we'll see.
Yeah.
You weren't around for the penalty. I mean, I wasn't around with you yesterday in the booth for the penalty kicks. And you see the drama that's created in those.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of it.
Yeah.
And I think that if anybody's got a penalty kick today, hint, hint, don't hit it on the ground. Get it in the air. That's the tougher one to stop.
Did we see any balls on the ground go in yesterday?
I didn't see one go in yesterday.
I don't think I remember any.
No.
Yeah. Although there was one kick, Waladeen Hunain for Salem.
He won it.
He kicked it right in the middle. He kind of banked on the fact that the goalie would guess one side or the other.
That was the game-winning kick, and I talked to Hunain, number 9, for Salem after that game, John, and he said, I was just looking to see which way the goalie was leaning, and I was going to try to fake him out and go the other way. And that's what they did.
He did. It was pretty savvy of him.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
Nashua South's got a pretty good goalie on their own in Kendra Santoro, so look for her to have a big game today as well. It's a battle of goalies. It's a battle of 2 teams, different styles. We'll see which style wins out here on NashuaETV.
That's Tom King. I'm John Collins. Our cameraman today is Tim O'Neill. Pete Johnson, the executive producer of NashuaETV, is here as well. It was a sunny day today. It still is, but windy and chilly here in late October as we play this game on a Thursday afternoon, October 25 of 2018. These 2 teams pretty evenly matched on paper. South the 8 seed and Portsmouth the 9 seed. So South by about a half a game in the standings gets the right to host this one. The winner of this game will advance to play Londonderry. As Tom said, they were one of the 2 teams in New Hampshire Division I girls soccer that received an opening round bye. The other is Manchester Central, which is awaiting the winner of the Winnacunnet Merrimack game. Bishop Girton's also in the tournament. They have begun their game an hour earlier. In fact, this is the only 4 o'clock game, I think, in the opening round. Bedford hosting BG. That was a 3 o'clock game. We will try to get you updates on the score if we can. BG is the 13 seed entering that game against number 4 in the standings, Bedford. However, on October 13, BG beat Bedford 1-0 in Bedford. So you never know what's going to happen in that game, and you don't know what's going to happen in this game. We are underway, battle of 8 and 9 seeds as South hosts Portsmouth. The girls from Portsmouth are in the white jerseys, and the Nashua South girls, of course, in the traditional purple Panther shorts and jerseys. As the South team advances it to midfield, and they run into a blockade there. Daniela Vigueras is number 10 for Portsmouth, who won that one momentarily. Now South back on the attack. Angie Swaza tried a backheel flick on to teammate Corin Flavin. And South does make some progress into Portsmouth's half of the field early in this one. 40-minute halves in New Hampshire girls soccer. Opening round game. So, of course, it's single elimination in this NHIAA tournament. Tom Bellin is the head coach for Nashua South, and Sid Scarano is the head coach for Portsmouth. The throw in for South. Angie Swaza tried to direct that with a header. Instead, it went up in the air, and Portsmouth intercepts. That was out of bounds before it was kicked by Portsmouth's number 20. Is the big fear always that the numbers on my roster will differ from the ones on the field and do not locate a number 20. So we'll have to find out who that is later on. South with possession. Miscommunication there as it goes out of bounds. So a slow start to the game. We've had some midfield play. Nothing close to either one of these talented goaltenders. Jenna Couture, the senior for Portsmouth, and Kendra Santoro, the sophomore goalkeeper for South, is in the goal to the right there. She's wearing the bright orange. I feel like that's a different shade of orange. Maybe is it? Maybe it's neon orange. She goes to retrieve that. It's a goal kick for South, their first of the game. So both teams kind of feeling themselves out here. They did not meet during the regular season, as far as I know, did they? Let's see. Oh, well, excuse me. They met back on August 31st. These two teams, it was a 0-0 tie. So interesting. South, the team that South did not play is Londonderry, the number 1 seed in New Hampshire. Londonderry and South did not meet during the regular season. Portsmouth did play Londonderry on October 4th, and they played well. It was a 2-2 tie in the end. So Portsmouth obviously a potent team. They can tangle with even the top-ranked team in the state and hold their own. And I'm sure South is well aware of that. Also the fact that Portsmouth won so many 1-0 games, just needing the one goal with their goaltender Jenna Couture stopping everything. Back to get it is Kendall Bush, number 3. Ball ends up in front of the goaltender and having to make a diving stop. It's still loose, and it's going to be a corner kick. Nervous time there for South as there was, well, they're going to call it offside. Maybe they called it offside. So it might not have counted. Inside the box, Emily Ricard, junior forward for Portsmouth, looked like she might take advantage of a bobble by Kendra Santoro as she slid to the turf to save that shot from distance. Santoro punts it way down the field to Angie Swaza, who was fouled on the play, so it'll be a free kick for South at midfield. Low line drive boot is repelled by the Portsmouth defense. They see a play here. They're trying to time it, and it ricochets off a South defender. Looked like Maya Ryu got in the way of that pass. Otherwise, Portsmouth had a bit at a breakaway. Booted toward the middle by Daniela Vigueras. Number 10's a popular number in soccer. Often the star player wears number 10 on each team. For Portsmouth, that's Daniela Vigueras, but I noted that nobody on South dares to don the number 10. Angie Swaza would be a good candidate, but she wears number 15. She was a candidate for a breakaway there, but similar to what happened on Portsmouth's attempt, a defender got in the way of Nashua's try at springing their forward in alone on the goaltender. Ball goes out of bounds near sideline and tossed in. Good job of South stringing together a few passes to advance the ball, but then Portsmouth steals it and goes out of bounds off of a South defender. The throw in by Katie McCafferty, sophomore for Portsmouth. Corin Flavin immediately closes in on the recipient of the pass and actually kicked it off the legs of Daniela Vigueras out of bounds, but Portsmouth immediately steals the throw in. And Kendall Bush smartly ushers that ball out of bounds, throw in for South. So Jenna Couture, the Portsmouth goaltender, has been a lonely figure in the shadows to our left since the game began. South trying to work the ball down there, and Portsmouth just not letting them do it. An attempt at a save on the near sideline corner. Too late, as it was kicked while out of bounds. And with the throw in will be Hannah Swain, number 11. Katie McCafferty stepped in the way and headed it toward the end line. In traffic now. Ball changes possession several times. There's the kick from distance. It's handled easily by Kendra Santoro, and players trot toward midfield as Santoro punts it, bouncing at the 45 and off the head of one of the players on the Clippers bench below us. It will be a Clippers throw-in. Daniela Vigueras. Nice heads-up play by Roya Ardahali on the throw-in. She knew where it was headed and intercepts the ball. Back to get it. Ahana Thapa to the far sideline. And now Portsmouth right back on the attack. South has not gotten possession of the ball anywhere deep in the territory of Portsmouth. And that continues here as Portsmouth continues to repel the ball. Roya Ardahali now gets it ahead. Angie Swaza. And it's scooped up by Jenna Couture. So progress by South as they make the Portsmouth goaltender play the ball for the first time. And Couture will be punting this one down the field through some players. Good step up by Hannah Swain. Swain got pushed from behind a little bit. The officials let it go, and Portsmouth takes possession. Down the field come the Clippers. This could be Becca Ingwerson. We've got her listed as number 22. And out of bounds it goes over the hedges. It is Elizabeth Capico on defense down there who took the safe route rather than let the ball bounce around close to the net. It will be a corner kick for the Clippers. And it appears to be Paloma Peters, number 11, who is taking this corner kick. Curls in and right to the goaltender. Kendra Santoro saw it all the way. It curled right to her. No Portsmouth player able to get over and get a body on that. A header perhaps. Couture snatched it and held on. So Portsmouth with the best bids so far. A couple of nervous time moments for South as they tried to keep Portsmouth from scoring that all-important first goal. Mally McDermott down the sideline. Portsmouth player intercepts. The Clippers making life difficult for South as far as transitioning to offense. They have not really done it with any success here in the first 10 minutes of this game. We've played 11 as we hit the 29-minute mark remaining in the first half. No score. Quarterfinal round game. In New Hampshire Girls Division I 2018 tournament action. South finished the season with a record of 8-5-3. And Portsmouth right behind them, 8-6-2. Angie Swaza, always a threat. She can get loose. She can finish. South, more success now stringing passes together in the offensive zone. Maya Ryu kicks it down into the corner. Only Portsmouth players there, though, and they'll usher that out of bounds. So it'll be a goal kick coming for Jenna Couture. Sometimes goaltenders cede the goal kicking to one of the players that has a strong foot, but not so in the two playoff games we have seen yesterday and today. The boys from South and Salem and the girls here from South and Portsmouth, their goaltenders pretty adept at kicking the ball long distances, and they handle their own goal kicking duties. That's an important weapon if they can get the ball to midfield consistently on those goal kicks. Anything short of midfield often yields an immediate scoring chance. Kendall Bush with it, hoping this is not her final game as a senior for Nashua High South girls soccer. A single elimination tournament, you never know. We have had Kendall Bush featured here on NashuaETV for the past decade, since junior biddy basketball. It's hard to believe that she is already a senior in high school. And that's true for many of the names on the roster here for Nashua High South. Multi-sport athletes, and many of them did play basketball, including soccer and other sports as well. Angie Swaza showing off the fine footwork, eludes one of the defenders, and South makes some progress, although they now play it back to the defenders and spread the field a little bit. Hannah Swain down the sideline. Good reception there by Corin Flavin, kicked out of bounds by a Clippers defender, Katie McCafferty. South with the promising advancement here. Throw in ended up on the foot of Ahana Thapa, but immediately stolen away by the Clippers. Back to get it, Kendall Bush. Crossfield pass finds the foot of Mallie McDermott. Far sideline now. With it is Juliana Martin. Maya Ryu. Actually, that was Ahana Thapa with it. They're trying to come off the sideline. Here's Ahana with it. Eludes a defender. Advances the ball down the sideline. He's able to find Angie Swaza. Swaza goes to work and gets a shot away, but misses near side right of the goal. Good thought to put some pressure on Couture. Maybe hit it with some pace and get a rebound out of it, but missed her mark in that instance, and Couture with a goal kick forthcoming. Goes the short route, and it's intercepted. Maybe a heavier touch than Corin Flavin was aiming for there, as she couldn't settle the ball. It was not a good goal kick by Couture, as it allows South to keep the pressure on this trip down the field. The throw in. Several players going after it. South with it. Little nutmeg play there by Angie Swaza. Swaza in front, and a save is made. Jenna Couture coming off her line alertly to intercept what would have been a quality scoring chance for South. Swaza on the centering pass nearly set that up for what would have been an easy goal, perhaps. A bang bang play in tight. Kendall Bush near side. And Swain lost control. Bush, nice step up and fires it down into the Portsmouth side of the field. The Clippers immediately on the attack again. Body to body play. A fair play according to the officials. Juliana Martin won it. Tried to get it into the middle to Angie Swaza. Did Corin Flavin. Ends up on the foot of Roya Ardahali. And Ahana Thapa passes it off to the sideline. Portsmouth doing a good job of getting in the passing lane at crucial times, so that South can't get that definitive strike on Jenna Couture. The all-important first goal is on the table for either team to get. South doing a better job of upping the pressure here in the first half. There's a ball popped up in the air. Corin Flavin kicked at it, but it was just beyond her reach. And Portsmouth gets it back to midfield. Kendall Bush trying to keep the pressure on. Swaza came back step for step with Ginger Schaaf, number 25, but Schaaf got there first, and that's produced a Portsmouth possession. They kick it out of bounds though, and back on the attack come the Panthers. Throw-in's intercepted. Number 16 is Lily Madden for Portsmouth. Gets it in the middle where Ginger Prevost tried to drop a pass, and South intercepts. Angie Swaza with it. Always a good thing if you're rooting for South to see the ball on Swaza's foot. But she was a good 60 yards away from the opposing goaltender there. She has scored some brilliant goals that some we have seen here on NashuaETV. Riley McDermott takes it wide, cuts it back in. Brilliant move, shot, and a nice sliding stop by Jenna Couture. Ball might have actually curled just outside the near post, but Couture taking no chances. Would have been interesting to see Mally McDermott press her advantage there, maybe wait a few strides before launching a shot. See if she could have got in even closer and opened up more possibilities as to where she wanted to shoot that ball on net. Free kick for Portsmouth right at the midfield stripe. This is Daniela Vigueras.
Get to it! Let's go, South! Come on, let's go!
Players are bunched up about 25 yards away from goaltender Kendra Santoro, who comes forward to glove that bouncer. And the goal kick punts it to midfield. Good bounce for South. The teams trade possessions. Just about at the halfway point of the first half. So we arrive at the 20-minute mark. South did a good job in the preceding 10 minutes of maybe winning that battle of time of possession. And they are putting the pressure on here. There's a pass that was intended for Corin Flavin. She had not yet started her sprint though. Good thought by Roya Ardahali to try to thread it behind a defender and hit Flavin on the sprint. Corin will come off now and take a breather, and onto the field comes Camille Michon, number 2. Good interception. Roya Ardahali has it. Michon just into the game, playing some catch with Roya. Portsmouth intercepts, and they come away with it. Trying to come out of her own end. Becca Ingerson or Brittany Graham. We have 22 and actually 22. Probably Becca Ingerson we'll go with. In the corner, centering pass. It actually hit a Portsmouth defender in the torso, and it lands at the feet of Couture, and she jumped upon it. But that ball was about to curl past the Portsmouth goaltender toward the other side of the crease area. And a fortuitous bounce for the Clippers that time. As Angie Swaza and company continue to up the pressure on the Clippers defense. Daniela Viguera tosses it in. Intercepted there by Hannah Swain. Swain trying to get in the way of Ingerson without fouling. Here comes the Panthers. Ball past midfield, but Portsmouth able to collect and send it down the field. Kendall Bush with a step up. The bounce, though, goes to Brittany Graham, newly into the game for the Clippers, number 23. Passes it to Maddie Roloffs, number 12 for the Clippers, and ball makes its way back to midfield as Graham collects and gets it back to Roloff. An attempt to spring forward as Katie McCafferty was step for step with the South defender. Camille Michon, a heads up play not to let her get in onside by herself. And also Kendra Santoro came up, as the goaltender will do in certain instances where they see an opportunity to grab a bouncing ball. Here's Angie Swaza working at the end line toward the middle. Good centering pass. Did find the foot of Mally McDermott, but she was double teamed by the Portsmouth defense. On the far side, in front, all the way to Swaza. Curls one right off the body of the defender. Michon's shot is a goal! Beautiful shot by Camille Michon! Just into the game. Hooks it into the far upper quadrant and gets the all-important first goal for Nashua High South. Oh, you can see that developing. The only question was, would Camille Michon have the skill to hit the upper right corner? And she did. Nothing that Jenna Couture could do in net for Portsmouth. The initial shot by Angie Swaza was probably headed for the same spot on goal, but it hit a defender and it landed at the foot of Camille Michon, and she was perfect on that shot. It's 1-0, the Panthers lead. That goal coming with about 16:40 remaining in the first half. Portsmouth known for pitching their shutouts this season. 7 of them will not get a shutout here, as Nashua South strikes first. Immediately, you sense a shift toward offensive urgency by the Clippers as they get the ball down deep, and they send a good 6 players forward toward the box. This one's high in the air. Decision time for Santoro. She'll back off a little bit. Players jostling. That's always tricky if you're on defense. Kendall Bush played it well, though. She played it fairly. No foul in the box would yield a, if a defensive player fouls an offensive player in the box, it would yield a penalty kick. So you always got to be careful. And the kick by Santoro toward midfield. Camille Michon, not only with that brilliant goal, but also a great defensive play just a minute before that to stop Portsmouth's attempt to spring Katie McCafferty in alone on Kendra Santoro. That would have been a great scoring chance for the Portsmouth Clippers, but Machine got in the way. Michon, and then she came down and scored. And somebody just pointed out to me, Camille Michon, a freshman playing her in her very first tournament game with a huge goal. Tom Bellin has got to be very proud. He just put her into the game. A great start to a playoff career. And Camille battling for possession here. Manuela Viguera is number 10 on the other side, who is a sophomore. Angie Swaza tried to play it with Mally McDermott on a give and go, but the 3 defenders for Portsmouth getting in the way of the 2 Panther attackers. Swaza toward the middle, onto the foot of Ahana Thapa. That ball curls through all kinds of traffic and finds its way to Couture. Senior goaltender Jenna Couture kicks it to midfield. It's headed back toward the Clipper goal, but Portsmouth able to advance. Bodies collide. Portsmouth progressing down the field. Kendall Bush with a good defensive play to kick that one away from the center box area. It'll be a throw in for the Clippers. Kendall was a point guard in basketball, and that is sometimes a good description for the position here as the defender, the deepest defender on the field. You have to make decisions on key balls down the field. It could become a threat. Where to go with it. How to set up an attack from the back line. Across the field it goes onto the foot of Maya Ryu. Into the middle, Ahana Thapa has played some fine midfield here in the first half, as has Roya Ardahali. Hannah Swain down the sideline, out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for Portsmouth's Viguera.
John, I think that one of the reasons South was able to do what they did in that little flurry that resulted in Michon's goal was Swaza had moved back a little bit, and Portsmouth shadowed her, and they took two defenders out of that area. And then all of a sudden, South realized, hey, look, we can get some people open, and they did. And Michon was open. She had time to even dribble it before she shot it. So
what a shot!
It was a perfect shot in that upper corner, where I was right next to Kuchar. She just couldn't reach it. You know,
no chance.
No chance at all. It was
Perfect
a bang
shot.
bang play, and that was a deadly shot. But I think that the defense had cleared away because Swaza had moved back a little bit, just about 10 yards.
Yeah, she draws a crowd, and
she was killing him in the corner. She was killing him on the wing, and she was able to center it and set up and get some plays going, and they really realized that one-on-one it's not going to work.
You notice Swaza took a hard shot right before the goal.
Yes.
That was blocked, and the rebound off the defender was perfect for Camille Michon.
Yep.
As you said, she dribbled it, moved toward the goal, and from our angle, we saw where she was looking. The question is, could she hit that spot?
And she did. She didn't have much room, but she hit it.
Pulled it right over the top of the goaltender. Portsmouth immediately on the attack here after the goal. You could kind of sense a shift in their philosophy immediately, you know. Not going to be a 1-0 win here. They need that equalizer either here in the first half or the second half.
I'll tell you what, the way that Portsmouth is playing offensively, I don't know now. I said one goal might be enough, but what I've seen today, I don't know if it will be.
Yeah, they've been pretty aggressive.
They've been very aggressive in this game. It's driving Tom Bellin, the Nashua South coach, nuts on the sidelines.
What is he seeing?
He's seeing his team, on a lot of these 50-50 balls, losing them or also losing the inbounds plays. They're throwing it in to other people, and it's getting turned over. Too many turnovers by South.
I see. It might have been a handball inadvertent by Portsmouth's number 8, Emily Ricard.
He wants them to be very wise and careful where they throw it in.
Here comes a throw in.
And he wants to get it out of this sideline midfield area because that plays to Portsmouth's strengths. More than once, he says, ladies, can we get it out of here?
Yes.
Pleading with his team.
Swaza gets it off the
sideline. See, that's where they want to go. They want to go middle field, and then they can spread the field out a little bit. And if they have to go backwards to go forwards, they're going to do it. But I don't think Bellin is too thrilled with that either.
To the far sideline it goes.
And you see, that's why. There's a turnover and a play.
In the corner.
Got to be careful over here. You don't want to knock it out of bounds and create a corner kick opportunity.
Good job by Maya Ryu to avoid just that. She kept it in bounds, kicked it to midfield, and somehow finds its way to the foot of Angie Swaza. Always a good thing for South. Swaza making huge progress down the sideline, being jockeyed by one of the defenders. Makes a nice turn, still has it in bounds. Goal line, Swaza in front.
Try to assist it, nobody moved. They all stood still.
Players hit the deck in front on the foot of Arroya Ardahali. Back to Ahana Thapa. Great run by Angie Swaza
Yes.
to set up this pressure.
Well, that's just it. See, she can do a lot more than score. She can set up the offense.
Change the tone of the game immediately. From defense to offense, instant offense, Angie Swaza. 8:40 to go in the first half.
Just a dynamic player. I watched her as a sophomore, and I said, this kid's in a lot of plays. And then last year, she really, really developed into her own and just started a scoring streak.
I thought you told me what college she's going to.
Providence.
Providence.
They're going to get a good one. And she's got, she's tall, she's athletic, and they'll work on whatever skills she doesn't have, and also however they feel that she needs to be in terms of her strength, where her strength needs to be.
I mean, I could see her, if you could surround her with a couple more playmakers, lighting up the score sheet.
She
for
could, but she's also a playmaker herself.
She is, yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of options that Providence has with what they can do with her.
She's even a candidate, I would say, for a national team. I mean, she's that good from what I have seen.
Perhaps.
Yeah. I'll keep an eye on that career through Tom King. The most versatile sports writer in New England. How about that? From junior biddy basketball to the Patriots.
We'll see. We'll see. I didn't feel too versatile when I got out of here last night. And still had to rewrite a whole story and sift through more photos. So the emotion that South showed us. See, here's what you don't want to have. You don't want to have that one line drive that can sail.
No. I thought you were talking about the emotion of the boys of South.
Yes, I was. The emotion of that game was.
You don't want to have this game stolen from you. It's a great start for South. They really could use a second goal at some point to solidify. Like as Tom, you said, I don't think one goal is going to be enough to win this outright. Daniela Viguera for the Clippers will have a throw in. 6.5 minutes to go first half. Portsmouth looking for the equalizer. Camille Michon, the freshman, just minutes after entering the game and after a nice defensive stop she made on the screen to your right, down to the left, scores the first and only goal of the game on a brilliant shot. Upper right corner, curling it over Portsmouth senior goaltender Jenna Couture. Kick from distance, would have missed outside the near post, but a good bid nevertheless by the Clippers. And Kendra Santoro's goal kick bounds its way toward midfield. It's one of those 50-50 balls that Portsmouth comes away with, but they kick it out of bounds. So in the end, a win for South as they keep working hard. Throw-in for South. Loose ball collected by the Clippers on the move. Kylie Sullivan, number 13. South gets in the passing lane, though, and here comes Camille Michon. Camille Michon trying to work on Daniela Viguera. Viguera gets the best of that battle and kicks it out of bounds off of Camille. The throw in. Emily Ricard for Portsmouth. And we have a foul, and actually out of bounds off of Portsmouth, not a foul. Would have been a free kick. Loose ball sideline, and it's going to be a South throw-in in a pretty good position on the field to make something happen. And a Swain as it go by her out of bounds. So the Clippers trying to go with a fast break offense here if they can on a quick throw-in, but instead South's alert to it. They get back on defense and intercept. Kendall Bush steps up, kicks it out of bounds, and yields a throw-in to the Clippers. As we approach 4 minutes remaining in the first half, South nursing a 1-0 lead right now. Portsmouth has had pretty much time of possession on their side for the last several minutes, as they look to sneak one in here before the half ends. There will not be too much injury time. That's going to be a free kick in favor of
Nobody's
Portsmouth.
been hurt, have they?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah. So they keep time on the field after the 2-minute mark. But right now, South's got to be concerned with a free kick about 42 yards away from Kendra Santoro, as the players bunch up in the box. Ball finds its way to the foot of a South defender, and South really stacking the box, as you can see. They head it and kick it, but it's not totally out of the danger zone yet. And they're going to get award a free kick there? I think they will. Ahana Thapa was going for the ball in a battle with Emily Ricard, number 8 of Portsmouth, and 8 hit the deck, and
there's
they
the
gave her a
danger.
free kick.
There's the danger
Yeah.
of allowing Portsmouth all that possession down in that end.
Now you have to be 10 yards off the ball, which the officials can easily see on the football grid will be the 9-yard line where you see the wall forming, but this is a ball that Portsmouth can go right at the net with. And the kick is toward the goal, and a nice sliding, diving save made by Kendra Santoro. That might have curled just outside the far post.
It might have curled outside the far post. It was taken right there by Brittany Graham, a junior.
Brittany Graham with the kick. It's interesting. I didn't hear her name as one of the leading scorers, and you can elect to whoever you want to take those, can't you?
In that situation, it might be the player closest to where the foul was. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But you should be able to.
Right. Ball kicked down the field now. There's exactly 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Time will be kept down on the field. Swaza kicks it forward, try to find Michon. She wins a free kick though. So South trying to come up with a last-minute chance if they can. This will be Mally McDermott to boot it from 55 yards out.
She had a great chance earlier in this game.
She did.
Right on top. I was right down there, and she was right on top of the goalie.
In traffic, Swaza curling around, looking for a lane to shoot in. She finds a.
She's looking for somebody to pass it to.
In
Is
that
what
case,
she's
yeah.
doing.
Caitlin Paquette, number 4, was on the wing. There was just too many defenders descended on Swaza
No
immediately
doubt about it.
to allow her to get any kind of a quality shot away. We are somewhere around the 1-minute mark remaining. South with a chance to develop this possession deep, but Portsmouth just won't let them out of the corner. And that may be a corner kick. I'm not sure exactly if it went out on the sideline, or are they going to call it? They're going to call it a corner kick. It was very close to the corner itself when Portsmouth booted it out of bounds. So look for something to happen here. Keep your eye on number 16 for South. In the box it goes. And a kick by Swaza. She got a foot on it. And Couture was right in the right spot. That found its way to the foot of the Panthers' star player, Angie Swaza. She didn't put a lot on the kick.
No.
She just directed right on goal.
In a crowd, it's hard to, especially when you're in the air fighting for the ball.
Yeah, I mean,
You've got to swing that foot around, and that's tough to do.
there's the element of surprise that it even reaches you in such a crowd as that.
And if I tried to do it, 9-1-1. 9-1-1.
Kendall Bush's boot gets it away from the goal, and that is the half. We have reached the midway point of this one, we think, in regulation. 1-0. South leads Portsmouth in this opening round tournament game on a Camille Michon goal. We'll see if that stands up or if it will take more to advance in the tournament. John Collins with Tom King. Our cameraman Tim O'Neill will take a break, and we'll be back with the second half here from Stellos Stadium after this.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Welcome back, everybody, to Stellos Stadium for the second half of this New Hampshire Division I girls soccer playoff game, as South is hosting Portsmouth. South in the purple uniforms, Portsmouth in the white uniforms to the right of your screen. And South succeeded in scoring the game's all-important first goal in that first half. Tom,
yeah, I think that's a big goal. It makes them, they don't have to press as much, but can't sit back either, because, John, I'll tell you what, there were moments probably in the first 15 minutes and last, 8 minutes that Portsmouth had some chances and carried the play, and especially with the free kick that they had just before the half, and then South came down and missed a golden opportunity when Swaza shot one that didn't quite have enough on it.
Which makes you think that one goal won't be enough.
Yeah, that's the idea.
So South will have to continue to think offensively as well as defensively. They're going to succeed in winning this game as the host team. What a nutmeg there by Swaz. Went between the legs of one of the defenders, but is immediately surrounded by 3 more Portsmouth players on her way toward the end line. Camille Michon with the lone goal of the game, the freshman who was just inserted into the game and made a nice defensive stop immediately, then went down the other end of the field and took the rebound of a Angie Swaza blocked shot, moved in on the goaltender and curled a great arcing shot into the upper right corner above and beyond the goaltender, Jenna Couture. Portsmouth, the senior, who has had 7 shutouts this season, fine goaltender. With the ball there, she boots it toward midfield, and Portsmouth able to work it into South territory. The Panthers kick it right back. Paloma Peters, number 11 for Portsmouth. They work it up to Emily Ricard. Ricard goes down into the corner, trying to get it to Becca Ingwerson, and they run out of room. It'll be a goal kick for Kendra Santoro, South's goalkeeper. 40-minute halves in New Hampshire girls soccer. The winner of this game will advance to play Londonderry, who had a first-round bye as the number 1 seed in the tournament. South and Portsmouth played once before this season, back in August.
How about that, huh?
Yeah, August 31st.
Right.
0-0 was the final. So we've already had a difference in this game with the 1 goal scored. First goal scored between these two teams, and it is now 120 minutes, 123 minutes of soccer. And the ball headed out of bounds. Hannah Swain will do the throw-in duty for South. Headed on by Angie Swaza, trying to get it to Mally McDermott. Portsmouth somehow retains possession. Work it off to the opposite sideline and out of bounds. So it'll be South's ball to throw in. This is Maya Ryu. Immediately throws it to Camille Michon, far side, and the whistle. Ball hit the out of bounds line. So the Clippers have it. Sunshine's still a factor for us, not a factor for either one of the goaltenders any longer. Kendra Santoro did have to deal with it in the first half. And meanwhile, Jenna Couture of Portsmouth has gone from the shadows on one end to the shadows on the other. Ingwerson down into the corner. It's 20 versus 20 down there, and Ingwerson makes a nice move to kick it toward the South goal and goes out of bounds off of a South defender, and that produces a corner kick for Portsmouth. They haven't had a lot
I mean,
of them.
here's the thing. Possession, 9/10 of the law, maybe 8/10 in soccer, but then you get these opportunities with the whistles.
And we'll see if Portsmouth does anything with this set piece. From the corner, it comes. Low hook shot.
Yeah,
All kinds of traffic
right,
all the
but
way.
now they can turn and set up their offense. That's what that
Swaza
does.
with great
Yeah, there it is.
anticipation.
Yep.
She has 2 players to beat. She's by 1. She has Mally McDermott on the far side. She sees her, feeds it across, perfect pass, and McDermott just had a
seemed to be
bad touch.
lead-footed. In a way, I mean, she just couldn't get her foot around.
What a pass! Then a shot, and
There
a
it is.
goal!
There it is, right there.
Camille Michon with her 2nd goal of the game.
The freshman, all started by Swaza, and the shot by McDermott. She couldn't get her foot around to make that really solid shot, and Portsmouth relaxed after that. They relaxed, and then the ball found Michon, and she fired it home.
The 2nd time they might have relaxed after Angie Swaza was stopped. Camille Michon, number 2, has 2.
Yep.
What another beautiful shot that
It was just painful watching McDermott trying to get her foot on that shot, you know? It was just she couldn't quite do it.
I mean, Swaza put that pass on the
Right
dot.
on the money, and I think she hesitated, waiting for the ball to settle, and her foot came around and couldn't do it. And there's another chance right here, but Portsmouth intercepts.
That was a 3-pronged attack.
5 minutes
in
into
the
the
end.
half, and it's 2-0 Nashua South.
You had Swaza, McDermott, and Michon, the forgotten wing person there, and she was able to bury it. Far corner on the
Was that
ground
Swaza
that
with that
time.
pass, or wasn't it far side? I'm not sure.
You mean you want
The
to know if there's
second
an
one
assist?
after the save, yeah.
I almost think it might have been a steal by Michon. I'd have to see it again.
Yeah, I'd have
It
to
could
see
be
it again in that
unassisted.
corner.
Yeah.
She was alone over there, and she put it again.
A save by
Perfectly.
Kendra Santoro. That was going right in the net.
Now, see, if you're South, you don't want to relax. You want to keep that pressure
2-goal
on.
buffer, right?
Yep.
Or more. Speaking of big buffer, we found out that, well, despite beating Bedford in Bedford 1-0 a short time ago in the tournament now, different story. We heard that Bedford's up 4-0 on Girton. Here's McDermott, the deflected shot, and
No,
it just goes
just trickles wide, yep.
Couture got enough of that, and we'll see how big a save that is maybe
Boy,
later
McDermott
on.
must be wondering, what do I have to do? She's been down to the left side, right in front of the goalie, was stopped there,
Yep.
had the chance there, and then that one again, the deflection.
Well, there's 3 great chances.
Yes.
And she can somewhat laugh it off at this point because of Camille Michon's 2 goals, and the pressure continues. The ball curled in an alert play by Jenna Couture to come off her line and glove that one. Wow, how happy Tom Bellin must be to have Camille Michon coming up through the ranks, just a freshman.
Just a freshman to do that job.
2 goals in her first ever
Yep.
tournament game. And highlight reel goals, too, as far as great shooting. Kendall Bush, solid backline play. A few players whiff at it, and an attempt to spring the player, but Kendall is back there in her point guard position. Actually, Portsmouth just knocked that out of bounds, so bonus, it'll be a throw-in for South. Kendall was seeding the throw-in, but the Portsmouth player wasn't able to get out of the way of the clearing sideline shot. Clippers come away with it. Above the center box. 2 players go for it. Daniela Viguera battling with Michon over there. Roya Ardahali intercepts, number 7. And a good advancement down the field. Goes out of bounds off the side of her foot. was a good idea. Mally McDermott was lurking ahead of the field, but still onside on the far side. And a tricky bounce there that Kendra Santoro came out and fielded, kind of on the short hop. Lost it initially, but up in the air, was able to snag it. Mally McDermott reaching with her foot, trips the Portsmouth player and is called for the foul. So free kick at midfield for the Clippers. We played about 10 minutes of this second half, and it is South that's come up with a second goal off the foot of Camille Michon to take a huge 2-0 lead. This Portsmouth team can score goals. They were in a 4-4 tie earlier in the season with Concord. They won a ton of games 1-0. But they will need to score to get back into this game at some point. And of course, there's not too many games where Angie Swaza gets shut out. She's set up.
She won't care in
bunch
this
of
one.
plays. No, she won't care,
win,
but
get a tournament win, but also create the two chances basically with her plays.
yeah, but
you
I
know?
wouldn't be surprised if she does get on the score sheet.
Yeah,
and
because
that would be a
Portsmouth
killer.
will have.
Yeah.
What Portsmouth will have to do is not to cheat up front.
Oh yeah.
You know,
exactly.
That'll let
That's the
Swaza
thing. You're right.
That'll get Swaza,
Yeah.
and she almost had an opportunity
Right there, and she is a finisher, as you know.
Right.
So all she needs is that one good chance. And there's a lot of soccer left to be played here with just under 30 minutes left to go in regulation. So there will be no late game 1-1 shocker that happened to the South boys team yesterday. It led to penalty kicks and an upset in the first round. Salem advancing. The booby trap prize, as you pointed out, Tom, they got to go to Hanover. There's a loose ball, and it ends up on the foot of the Portsmouth player, and somehow she whiffed on it.
No, you're confusing that with the boys.
Was that? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The girls go to Londonderry.
No, I'm saying that's the booby trap for Salem that beat.
They have to go to Hanover, but
go
you
to
know what?
Hanover,
They don't care.
No.
they got the win. You know, they
Yeah.
won a tough game, and that's.
Yeah, they did.
You know.
Yeah. Those penalty kicks are nightmarishly tense, aren't they? For the coaches and the fans
I
watching
watched the
those.
players all standing around. It's a lot of pressure. I don't like the idea, but it's. They used to create. It was a shootout. They used to have one out and you dribble in.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Now they went, and then I don't know, 15 years ago they went to PKs.
See it in the World Cup all the time too, and
Yeah, I mean, you've seen it in the Olympics, right? I mean,
the Olympics. Yep. The ball curled in. Quality corner kick that time.
Yeah,
by
now
Portsmouth.
see, if I'm Tom Bell, I'm not happy. Portsmouth's had 2 corner kicks already in this half. You don't want to give them any more.
Angie Swaza still has it. Still has it. Angie Swaza.
There we go again.
Past
She's
4
got McDermott
players.
in the middle.
She's got to run out of gas at some point. Now she finds
She
an extra gear.
accelerates.
And she is bodied, and are they going to call it? They're going to
That'll
call
be
it a corner kick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she could have gotten a free kick right there.
Well-deserved applause there for Swaza. She went 100 yards that time.
Imagine the shape she's got to be in to be able to run like that.
Well, that second gear, you saw that burst.
Ah, it was not a corner. It was just an inbounds.
In the middle, and Couture with a short hand.
She's all that work. I would have given her a corner, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good angle, though. I would have had somebody else take it and then have Angie go in the middle there. South advancing as some players hit the deck, but Portsmouth had the ball, so no whistle, as they have the advantage anyway. Throw in for the Clippers. Paloma Peters boots it far down the sideline, but it goes out of bounds. So South ball, possessing the ball, and a 2-0 lead for the moment here in the second half of this opening round tournament game. We learned that Bishop Girton girls season may be about to come to an end. In Bedford, they were trailing 4-0 in a 3 p.m. game that started an hour earlier than this one. So it looks like Bedford will advance to play the winner of Concord Timberlane. Bedford will host that game. Mallie McDermott may have clipped a clipper right there as she gets called for the
You've
foul.
been waiting all day to say that, haven't you?
It just occurred to me actually. See if I can say it again. How did the sailboat or the sail ship known as Clippers get the name Clippers? Is it because they clip the sails on the mast?
You got me, Jim.
Yeah, just nautical
I have,
terms. Not your thing?
I have other things to worry about.
You don't want to do nautical terms
No,
on top of
that's
sports
okay.
terms?
No.
Because they sail at a fast clip? Maybe that's it. Refers to the speed. Near sideline. Paloma Peters curls it in the middle. Kind of hopeful there rather than directing it toward any one player. What a spill taken by Emily Ricard. She landed hard on her back. And I really don't think that was a foul. I think she just missed the ball. She took a wild kick at a high bouncer and hit the deck, but maybe she was pushed slightly off balance. And she is back on her feet and ready to play. Good to see. A free kick for Portsmouth now from about 33 yards away from the goaltender. Paloma Peters goes right at the goal, and a pretty good bid right there. Some nervous time for Kendra Santoro as it just sailed over the crossbar. There's that maybe 1 foot of space between the goaltender's hand and the crossbar sometimes if they mistime their leap. We've seen even the highest paid goaltenders at the Premier League level miss a few of those every now and again if the ball is placed just so. Just under 24 minutes remaining in the second half, and Kendra Santoro with the ball shepherded toward her by Elizabeth Capico. Picks it up, boots it toward midfield. Roy Arta-Holly. Is that a final, Tim? Concord defeated Timberlane 1-0, so Concord will play at Bedford in the next round, which will be Sunday at 2 p.m. Sideline play, out of bounds, and Paloma Peters will throw it in for Portsmouth. Good play by number 19, Juliana Martin for South. Got the ball to Swaza. Swaza got it back to Martin, and they trade passes again before Paloma Peters steps up alertly for Portsmouth and sends it into the near corner. Was that deflected out of bounds? Yes, it was. Throw in for South. Elizabeth Capico to Juliana Martin. Roya Arta-Holly. Nice footwork. Spread the field. Get it across to the other side. This is Maya Ryu up the sideline. Good ball movement by South. Camille Michon trying to find Swaza, but she was triple teamed up front. What else is new? And the ball was repelled back to midfield. South will try it again. Michon looking ahead, finds Mallie McDermott. Nice lead pass. Swaza's in the middle. McDermott kicks it toward Michon. She's trying to get there before it goes out of bounds. A good thought. Just not able to complete the give and go as Michon passed it to McDermott. And the freshman went into a visionary sprint there. Thought she'd get the return pass and maybe make something happen. And believe it or not, Camille Michon. Camille Michon on the hunt for a possible hat trick here. How
Did you
amazing
repeat
would that be?
Pete? Ah, interesting. Merrimack with a road win. Wow.
The 10 seed beats the 7 seed in
Yeah, they're pretty evenly, though.
double
That's
overtime.
pretty even.
And they got the goal, you say, before the penalty kicks. Second overtime, 2-1.
So Merrimack will go on to play the
two
number
seed
2 seed.
At Central.
And that should be Central. That'll be a tough game.
Yep. South settling the ball down. Ahana Thapa to Camille Michon. And Michon to McDermott. And they call that offside, and I don't know. I think that's a generous call for Portsmouth. I mean, the defender was at least when McDermott received the ball, this defender was a step or two deep to the right of the ball. But as we talked about yesterday, Tom, they seem to err on the side of offside on those 50-50 calls every time. Michon making things happen on the sideline on the wing over there. Clippers on the move, trying to thread the defense, and it is passed, but wide.
Oh, Santoro came way out.
A gamble, and nearly a first goal of the game for the Clippers. A good thought. That was Brittany Graham that set up the forward who got the shot away, and actually she's coming off the field right now. Daniela Viguera had that chance for Portsmouth, and she'll take a breather. She hit the ground hard after. Maddie Roloffs passes it up the sideline, and they're able to complete it into the corner. Becca Ingwerson.
Easy for you to say right there.
Yeah.
Ingwerson, Acadia Mom White, Haley Dewsnap, Daniela Vigueras, Maddie Roloffs. Some different names that you're seeing in this game.
Camille Michon with the ball on her foot to McDermott. They're trying to give and go again. And here's McDermott up ahead. Michon had stopped her run to stay on side, and some Portsmouth defenders were able to get back.
There you go. It's that outside thing again.
Yep. Yeah. She would have been.
Stops a lot of action.
All by herself, like Randy Moss had the offside
Imagine
call not existed.
Imagine if that was a rule in football.
I know. You can't run past the safety ever. Ridiculous. Yeah. It's rewarding laziness, isn't it? You just stop running and let the field before we go past you.
I agree.
Maybe they should change it to like a snapshot of where everybody is when you first get possession. And you can just run by. Just sort of like the quarterback has the ball, you run by the safety, and it's still onside. Or there is no offside. Ball curls toward the middle, and alertly out of her crease was Couture. Don't want to run into the goaltender there. You can get a yellow card. Might have been a little bit of contact. When you have plenty of time to avoid, that is. Kendall Bush steps up, booms one into the Portsmouth half of the field. 17 minutes remaining. 2-0. South enjoying a cushion of 2 goals right now, thanks to Camille Michon, the freshman, with both of those goals. One in the first half, one in the second half. Both basically set up by Angie Swaza.
Pinkerton won in double overtime, I believe, right? It was regulation?
More
shootout. And penalty kicks.
Wow.
Oh,
How about that? See, that was another 11 seed versus a 6 seed like we had yesterday in the boys. This time the 6 seed prevailed in penalty kicks in Derry. Pinkerton advances to play the winner of Exeter-Wyndham. Here's Mally McDermott with another chance. Right over the goaltender in the crossbar.
I'm telling you. 0 for 4, good swings every time.
Yep. Some frustration there for MM. And that might have been the time to go on the ground far side, but easy to say, hard to do on the dead run like that to control your shot. But it appeared that Couture was giving McDermott a sliver of turf inside the far post if she was able to hit it. Here's Angie Swaza with the ball in her foot. Able to find Elizabeth Capico. Capico trying to get it inside to McDermott, but an errant pass goes in the corner, and Paloma Peters shepherds it out of bounds so that it'll be a goal kick for Jenna Couture as we hit the 15-minute mark remaining in this opening round soccer game. Couture's goal kick doesn't go all that far, and a tussle for the ball between Lily Madden and Juliana Martin.
Exeter 3, Wyndham 0.
So it'll be Exeter versus Pinkerton in the next round, and it will be in Exeter, the 3 seed. In the middle, McDermott trying to control the high bouncer. Now 3 Portsmouth defenders get back, so no breakaway. Camille Michon in the corner. The dangerous trailer. She's picked up 2 goals on brilliant shots. Trailing the play. Portsmouth intercepts. They need a goal to make a game of it. The Clippers on the move. Daniela Viguera after a breather on the bench, curling it toward the middle, trying to hit Lily Madden, who was in the prime spot at the top center of the box, but good job getting back on defense. I believe that was Hannah Swain that was right in the passing lane and stopped that play from developing into something a lot more dangerous. Portsmouth trying to come off the sideline. Player stumbles and falls. Angie Swaza onside. What a brilliant pass. Downfield comes Corin Flavin in the middle. The shot goes over Mally McDermott. Oh, Mally.
My goodness.
She's saving them for the next round.
But you see what's happening, though. Portsmouth's having to cheat up there, having to put their players up front. Swaza knows that. She's pushing ahead. 13:08 to play.
What a pass from Swaza.
That's what she does. I mean, look, she's a natural.
Yes.
She is a natural soccer player. You see very few of those in this area. She is a natural.
Yeah, I mean,
she can do it all. I mean, she can defend, but she can also set up and she can score.
Puts those passes on the dot.
Because her foot skills, John. She's able to control the ball.
Yeah.
It's a difference. It's going to be different watching this team next year without her. That's for sure.
It will. Yeah. Portsmouth's on the move.
I think her first couple of years, she was just trying to play on aggression.
Good spin move by Ingwerson.
I think she just really tried to force the issue. It was very physical, and then I think they settled her down, and she got her skills together and played the game the way that she knew she could play it.
Centering pass. Portsmouth trying to develop it into a shot. They cannot. Good defense played by the back line, including Kendall Bush, Hannah Swain, Ahana Thapa, Elizabeth Capico's back there. And Portsmouth not even able to get a shot away. Yeah, well put, Tom, and emphasis on the skills.
That's it, the foot skills.
She's got them, right? Got them galore.
But see, what's going to happen in college is she's going to get pushed around. So she can handle a lot of that. As we see, we have a corner kick now coming up for Portsmouth. She can handle a lot of that, but she's going to have to probably get a little stronger to be able to handle, the older kids.
Yeah.
the older players. Here's a shot, and right there, bobbling it, but
it's another
bobbling
corner
it away
kick.
from the post was
Because of that bobble,
right.
Tom,
She gets another
corner kick because it went
You're
out of bounds
Good
on
call,
the bounce.
John.
Official was standing right there. So another bite at the apple here for Portsmouth. This is what the coaches fear when they see something like, two swings at it. In the middle, shot. Oh,
no.
It was blocked. It was number 8, Emily Ricard, who had a chance in the box. Elizabeth Capico plays it to the sideline. Here's Angie Swazzer with her head up, looking for a teammate. Trying to lead a pass for Corin Flavin. There is one defender back to get it, and she'll play it to the goaltender smartly, where Couture boops it away, and it ends up on the foot of Emily Ricard of Portsmouth. Errant pass, though, and a nice takeaway by the Panthers. Elizabeth Capico to Swaza. The footwork. And not able to connect, though, with Corin Flavin that time. It would have been a nice give and go, perhaps, in the making. Yeah, you probably don't watch too much of the Premier League in your off hours, but
I know.
but I do. And
I had it on for a while the other night, but I wasn't watching it. And I said, "What am I doing here?"
Right. Well,
Here's
mean,
McDermott again.
You're talking about foot skills, and those guys are just on another level. Of course, I mean, you look at the money they make, but that's the kind of stuff that Angie Swazzer reminds me of, with those 40-yard passes on a dot with her head up, knowing the way the game. Envisioning the play 20 seconds ahead, 10 seconds ahead. Corin Flavin threads it through a triple team. Nicely done in the middle. Hana Thapa as they spread the field. Camille Michon with it. She's got 2 goals. The game's only 2 goals. The freshman, number 2. On the far side, Angie Swaza gets it to Michon. It's a shame these two can't play together more than just this season. In the middle, McDermott trying to turn around and get a shot away. Portsmouth pinballing the ball around. It's loose. It's anybody's ball, still out of bounds. It's going to be a corner kick for the Panthers as they keep the pressure on, even with a 2-0 lead as the clock ticks on. 8:40 remaining in regulation. And South looking for a goal, a third goal that would seal the deal for sure at this point. From the corner, curling it into the middle. Going for the header was Mally McDermott, just inches away from getting ahead on that, and Portsmouth just kicks the ball over the end line to play it safe, but it's another corner kick for the Panthers. You know what number that is in the corner there, Tim? 19. It's taking the corner kick in the middle.
Swaza.
Angie Swaza on the assist by Juliana Martin. Nicely done. Angie Swaza does get on the score sheet with the 3rd goal of the game. All she needed was a single chance. Perfectly done. Juliana Martin with the corner kick, and Angie Swaza with the finish. 3-0. South on
Swaza,
the move.
all she did was stick her right foot out. Just the right foot. Londonderry coming up on Sunday. 77 goals in 16 games.
That's the hokey pokey goal, Tom.
Yeah,
you stick your right foot out?
Right, stick your right foot out and put it in the net.
And put
right.
it behind the goaltender. That was beautifully done. I see that was the second time a corner kick found its way to Swaza's foot. And that one, I think she saw it coming all the way, though. There was no surprise there. It didn't go through several players. It went right to her and found it in the back of the net. So 7 minutes remaining. Collision at midfield. Let's see, they're going to call it against South. I don't know how you can decide it's South that's the aggressor on that. They seem to be equally at fault, but it's Portsmouth ball. Swaza repels that one 40 yards down the field on a short hop, and Mally McDermott gives chase. Mally lost her footing, but she bounces right back up to her feet. Fortunately, they'll need her in the next round. Downfield it goes. Ingerson trying to settle that. Kicks it on ahead into the corner. There's a curling pass in front. Nice flick on knee there that time by Lily Madden, number 16 in the middle. But again, a South defender gets in between the forward and the goaltender. Hannah Swain basically making that save. Corin Flavin on the dead run. She's going to get there. Hits the goaltender, and that's going to hurt the right leg of Jenna Couture, who hobbles back toward her line.
Flavin didn't get hurt. I'm surprised on that play. Surprised he didn't wrench her back.
Speaking of the Premier League, that would have been about, what, a 15-minute timeout?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
The goaltender would have been down forever.
Yeah, let's put some more time on the clock.
Yeah,
for
instead,
that.
Jenna Couture gets back up and right back to it. So Mally McDermott gets a nice round of applause. She was in the middle of everything. And she will wait till next week to put that ball in the back of the net, I think, Tom. She had multiple chances, and not by luck either. She was right there, put herself in the spot, just couldn't finish today. But Camille Michon did twice, Angie Swaza did, and there's Jenna Couture stepping up to make a nice save on Elizabeth Capico. Free kick from the sideline. Capico battling there, is able to retain possession against the double team. On ahead. Yep. And now it's Juliana Martin coming off to a big round of applause, number 19. And Angie Swaza will come off as well with a smile. Why not? 4 minutes remaining. Out of bounds off the Clippers. Elizabeth Capico's throw in ends up on the foot of Hannah Swain toward midfield. Back line. Julia Karowski, number 15, having to contend with Courtney Lopez. Lopez tried to keep it in far sideline, but just eluded Courtney into the hedges, and a throw in for the Clippers. Up in the air, Courtney Lopez toward the middle. Ricochet on the foot of Corin Flavin. Back to Lopez. They call her offside by a step. That appeared to be the correct call. Free kick for Portsmouth on the spot of the offside, and it is intercepted by the Panthers. Ahana Thapa steps up. Back to the midfield area. Collision there. Might be Kylie Daw. We don't have a 23 in our roster for South. We have Kylie Daw as number 24. Kendall Bush back to get it. She's played all 78 minutes to this point. Point guard on defense for South. A solid game. A 3-0 South lead at 2 minutes, 9 seconds and counting down to the 2-minute mark, where we are at now as they keep the time on the field. Ball in the corner, the Clippers in the middle and toward the middle, out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for Kendra Santoro. And again, limited to no injury time to be added here, one would think, especially with a 3-0 lead. Really, the game has been decided, as have most of the other games in the opening round that started at 3 o'clock. This was a 4 o'clock start here at Stellos. Portsmouth had a fine season. Among the highlights, that 2-2 tie with the #1 seed Londonderry that they can take pride in. Portsmouth did not play Spalding at all. That hurt them in the standings, because Spalding was 0-16 with 122 goals against on the season. A rough season for Spalding. It's interesting that those two teams didn't play, since they're so geographically close. There's a bouncer in front of Jenna Couture, and one of the reasons they had such a fine season, did Portsmouth, was the great play of their senior goaltender, Jenna Couture. Hopefully she'll play somewhere in college.
That'll
but
do
right
it.
now it's time for South to celebrate. A 3-0 decisive victory for Nashua High South, the 8 seed versus the 9 seed, in a game in which anything can happen. Camille Michon, the freshman, stepped up with 2 goals in her first ever tournament game. Angie Swaza, with a one-timer, boots in a corner kick to seal the deal to make it 3-0. And congratulations to the Nashua High South girls varsity soccer team for advancing in the 2018 tournament. For Tom King and our cameraman Tim O'Neill and our executive producer of NashuaETV, Pete Johnson, I'm John Collins. Thank you for watching. The final score for the final time: South 3, Portsmouth 0. Good night from Stellos Stadium, everybody.